I was thinking, recently I heard somebody talk about seniority. It's all about seniority. Seniority is a prisoner's mentality. I did my time. I deserve to be free kind of mentality. I did my time. I deserve to be in charge mentality. It's a socialistic mentality. Unions are a socialistic mentality. Now, there are times in society where things were so polarized and a monopoly was established, and that's where justice had to come in and break it up because people were not properly running their businesses that violated a just scale, actual worth of the workforce. So there needed to be some stuff stepped in by the authorities, and unionization helped in that area. But unionization is like a cast on a broken leg. Only when the leg is broken do you need a cast for it to heal. And then once the bone is healed, you take the cast off and you start muscle therapy or physical therapy to rehabilitate other areas of whatever areas that was broken. So in the workforce, you have people who still have that mentality. They were probably raised by someone who had that mentality. Good, hard-working, blue-collar person who felt that they were, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. And you're still a blue-collar worker for 20, 30 years. And you're an expert of one thing. And then they get ticked off because some kid comes along, educates themselves, has a certified degrees of understanding, maybe through traditional school, an actual degree, or a certified skill set, like a trade that's proven. And so now they're diversified. So it brings me to the conclusion when you hear a simpleton say, well, seniority, it's all about seniority. Well, other things, other variables are in play as well. Skill set, degrees of understanding, rewarding, not selfish ambition, but ambition, that righteous ambition, commitment. I talk about the sacrificial commitment, the heart, the head, and the endurance of somebody, and rewarding and promoting that. But the person that got stepped over, who wasn't full time, gets upset that a person who's willing to do other things and be trained to do other things, he can't advance because this person's been here longer. Which brings me to the conclusion that just because you've been around long enough doesn't mean you deserve full time. Doesn't mean you deserve authority. This arrogant entitlement of deserving things because you did the time. And that's why I say that people who cry seniority have a prisoner's mentality. I did my time. I deserve this. But you didn't educate yourself. You didn't just diversify yourself. You didn't make yourself valuable to the company. And now you want more pay and more because you did time. There you go. Sounds like a prisoner, doesn't it? I did my time. I pay my dues. No. If you don't learn anything new, if you don't have fruit that you learn something new, whether through classical, training or through just fruit that you bear, and you demand seniority, you call out seniority, and this person comes along who's educated, and you belittle that, which is dumb, because you've been here a while. You only proved that you've been stepped over, and righteously so. You've only proven that you're kind of a fool. That if you think you deserve something because of seniority, because you don't want to diversify, where someone else is willing to do certain things and be more valuable to the company, and that seniority person refuses to do all these other things, it's step up, step down, or get step over. So this socialistic prisoner mentality of I got seniority and therefore I should be in this position. Another thing is people who cry out for about nepotism. It's one thing if nepotism, your definition of nepotism, which is my definition of nepotism, that a person is in a position and they're not qualified, they don't have degrees of understanding, they don't have a certified skill set, they can't do the job, their heart's not in it, their head's not in it, they don't have sacrificial commitment, they're just put in the position because of the boss's kid or the boss's spouse or some type of relative or friend. That's nepotism. But is it nepotism if there is the heart, the head, the sacrificial commitment, the endurance, and the degrees of understanding and skill set? If the best person for the job happens to be a relative or a friend, that's irrelevant as long as the other criteria has been met. And when you have a master tradesman in a given area, you have the best candidate that you could find in that moment to hire somebody, that need to hire somebody, and they happen to be a relative, they happen to be a friend. Well, that just means you've got greater loyalty. So is nepotism bad? Well, my definition of nepotism is bad. It's by putting somebody who's a relative who's not qualified to be in that position. That's bad. Everybody suffers over that. But if they are excellent and skillful and full of understanding and legitimately, bona fiably certified for that position, it's not nepotism. Is it wrong to not hire someone, the best person for the position, because they happen to be a relative? I don't think it is. In fact, there's that added element of loyalty, etiquette, propriety that can be brought to the situation if they're raised in a good family or just a certain parts of society where I don't have friends that are rude. If you're rude, I don't care how alpha pup you think you are and you got away with the situation, you pre-fired yourself in my mind. If you're arrogant and disrespectful, you're going to bite the hand that feeds you. Well, I'm not going to be the hand that feeds you. You already pre-fired yourself. I had people in my life where prior I thought, you know what? When I come into my own business, I think I could hire them. And then a year goes by after working with them, and I'm like, nope, I will not hire them. They lie. You can't trust them. They won't own up to their own responsibilities. No. And that's even if they're a relative or a friend. I got great friends that I love dearly, that I'll socialize with, that I'll even quote fellowship in the spirit with at church. But I won't hire them because they've already proven to me their character through their actions or the lack thereof. Spoken enough. Peace and love as you work out your own salvation. In Jesus' holy name. Amen.